With fuel costs rising again, most people are starting to ask a question most never think about until it matters. If your car becomes a weak point, what do you move with instead? If I had to leave quickly in the UK with no car carrying real gear, this is a setup that I would trust most. Welcome back to Charlie Survival. If you care about calm, practical, real UK preparedness without all the noise, hit subscribe now. And comment below the one thing you would grab first if you had to leave tonight. Because most people think preparedness is all about what you store. Food, water, torches, radios, power bank, medical kit, warm clothes. And yes, all of that matters, but there is another side of preparedness that hardly anyone talks about until it becomes a real problem. Movement. Because it does not matter how much gear you have at home if for whatever reason you need to suddenly move. Maybe fuel gets hit, maybe roads are blocked, maybe traffic locks up, maybe your normal transport goes down. Maybe you need another option that does not rely on filling up, sitting still and hoping for the best. And that is what today is about, not fantasy, not drama, not pretending the world is ending tomorrow. Just one very real question. If I had to leave quickly in the UK carrying proper equipment, could a bike like this actually do the job? Because this is the Fedo Titan extender. Not just a normal electric bike, but a long-range load-carrying setup built around actual utility. This thing runs a 3-battery structure with the extended setup adding 2 extra batteries, plus battery rack and battery bags, taking the claimed maximum range all the way up to 347 kilometers, or around 250 miles in ideal conditions. Now, ideal conditions are not real life, we all know that. Real life means hills, wind, weight, stop-starts riding, cold weather, bad route choices, mud, potholes, and all the things that slowly eat away at performance. But that is not really the point. The point is margin, and margin is one of the most valuable things you can have in any preparedness system. You want margin in food, margin in water, margin in warmth, margin in time, margin in power. And if movement matters, you want margin in range, because real life is messy. The Titan also claims a payload of 200 kilos or 440 pounds. It has 26 by 4-inch fat tires, a 250 watt motor with 55 newton meters of torque, a torque sensor, and 4-piston hydraulic disc brakes. So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 things. First, I'll show you what I'd actually pack for a realistic overnight movement setup. Secondly, I'll load it properly onto the Titan and show you how this bike works as a system. And third, I'll test it in the real world and tell you honestly whether this is just a cool looking machine or whether it actually earns its place. Because the title and thumbnail of this video should already be making you think the same thing I'm thinking. Can this really replace a car, at least for a short relocation or emergency movement scenario in the UK? So let's start with the bike itself. The first thing that stands out is that this does not feel like a normal commuter e-bike. It feels like a platform, and that matters. Because if something is going to carry real equipment, it has to feel like it was designed for that job from the start, not just adapted into it afterwards. You've got the extender batteries, the battery rack, the battery bags, the front basket, the panniers, the fat tyres, the bigger carrying setup, the heavier duty braking. That is a much better place to be, and if you are interested in the Titan itself, by the way, I've put the Fiido bike link in the description and I'll pin it in the comments as well. So if you want to look through the setup, specs or pricing for yourself, it's all there, and use the code CharlieSurvival50 for £50 off. All of it points in the same direction. This bike is not trying to be tiny, slick or minimal, it's trying to be useful, and to me that's exactly what makes it interesting. Now for this test, I'm not going to load it with nonsense. One of the biggest mistakes people make with any bug out or relocation idea is packing it emotionally instead of practically. They hear leave quickly and start loading for fantasy, not fiction. They throw in gear because it feels reassuring, not because it actually is worth carrying. And this is how you end up with a setup that looks impressive for 10 seconds and feels awful for the next 10 miles. So the rule today is simple. If it does not earn its weight, it does not come. That means I'm not talking about half the house, I'm talking about the basics that actually matter. Shelter, warmth, water, food, power, navigation, a few tools, a few spares, and enough to stay out overnight without turning this into something ridiculous. That is where the Titan starts making sense very quickly. The front basket gives you quick access storage. The panniers let you carry heavier items lower down, which helps with balance. And the rear carrying space gives you room for bulkier items like sleeping gear. That might sound like a small thing, but it completely changes how you move, because when everything is on your back, you feel it immediately. Your shoulders feel it, your neck feels it, your pace feels it, your decisions feel it. Whereas with a system like this, the machine is taking more of that burden for you. And And that is the whole point of a setup like this in the first place. It's not just moving you, it's moving your system. Right, let me show you it loaded up. So this is the bike fully loaded for a realistic overnight movement test, and one thing I already like is the bike still looks composed. It does not feel awkward, it does not feel overloaded, it does not feel like a normal bike being forced into a role it was never designed for. It actually looks right. That matters not just visually but mechanically, because confidence in movement starts before you even set off. If your setup already feels clumsy and unstable when standing still, you're going to ride badly. Now, before I head out, one quick thing. A lot of you ask what gear I actually use and what I actually rate. So I've put all the kit I use in one place on my Charlie Survival Amazon kit list. It's linked in the description. And because this whole video is really about not getting caught out when normal systems become awkward, I've also got my free blackout checklist in the description as well. It's a practical free download, simple and useful, and it will help you spot the gaps in your setup before you actually need the gear. And if you want the full, deeper, step-by-step version to all of this, not just gear, but a full UK-specific plan for blackouts, food, water, power, communications, and movement, my course, the UK Crisis Readiness System, is now live as well. You can find it in the description. Right, let's move. The first thing I noticed once I got rolling was that this does not feel flimsy. That might sound obvious, but plenty of electric bikes still feel a bit twitchy once you put real weight on them. This does not, it feels planted, and I think a lot of that comes down to the frame, the tyres and the cargo layout, and the fact that this whole bike is clearly designed around utility. The torque sensors help too. Instead of the assist feeling jerky or artificial, it feels smoother and more natural, especially when pulling away under load. That matters on hills, it matters on junctions, it matters on poor surfaces. It matters when you're trying to carry equipment and trying to stay controlled rather than just powering through everything. Now let's talk honestly about range, because this is one of those things that gets abused online. The bike page shows different range numbers depending on mode, and as always those numbers depend on rider weight, terrain, wind, temperature, tyre pressure and how much you're carrying. That is exactly how it should be looked at. Range is not one fixed number, it is a moving target. But the reason I like the extender setup is not because I expect perfect case numbers, it's because it gives me more margin, and margin changes the way I think. I stop thinking purely in terms of can I just about make it, and I start thinking in terms of I've got room for hills, room for bad weather, room for a longer route, room for mistakes. Now another major point is low capacity. Fiido claims a 200 kilo payload, and obviously I'm not testing the absolute maximum here, but well below that number you can still feel that this bike has been built around that idea of carrying more than the average e-bike. That is the real advantage, because movement is only useful if you can move the things that actually keep you comfortable and functional once you arrive. And then there is the braking, because power is easy to market, range is easy to market, stopping properly under load is where reality lives. The Titan has 4-piston hydraulic disc brakes, and that matters a lot, because once you put proper weight on the bike, braking confidence becomes one of the most important parts of the whole experience. You want something that feels deliberate, planted and controlled on descents, rough surfaces and changing conditions. Not vague, not weak, not sketchy. And thankfully that side of the Titan feels solid. The tyres help too. Those 26 by 4 inch CST fat tyres give it much more of a forgiving feel on rougher sections. Broken lanes, gravel, uneven edges, sloppy tracks, and most important for the UK, potholes. All of that feels more manageable than it would on a slimmer and lighter setup. Again, that suits the role of this bike perfectly. This is not built to be elegant and minimal, it's built to keep moving, and that really is what makes this kind of test worth doing. Because anyone can read a spec sheet, anyone can repeat numbers from a product page, but the real question is always this: does it still make sense once you actually load it, ride it and rely on it? So far the answer is yes. Right, I've made it, and this is where the second half of the story starts, because movement is only half the story. What matters is not just whether you can leave, but whether you can arrive with enough energy, enough equipment and enough usefulness left to actually set yourself up properly. And this is where this kind of bike really starts to prove its value, because I've got shelter, I've got food, I've got water, I've got warmth, I've got power, and I did not have to destroy my shoulders or drag all of that on my back to bring it. That matters more than people admit, because if a system is miserable, clumsy and exhausting, you're less likely to do it well. Whereas if it feels workable, you think more clearly, move more confidently and make better decisions once you arrive. And that is really the whole takeaway from this test. The Fedo Titan extender is not trying to be everything. It's not a perfect replacement for a car in every situation. It's not some magical answer to every problem, and it is not going to be the right bike for everyone. But if you're looking at this from the perspective of carrying more gear, having serious range margin, moving across mixed terrain, using a bike as an actual utility platform, and wanting a machine that feels built around capability rather than appearance, then yes, this starts to make a lot of sense, especially in the full extender setup. The extra batteries, the battery rack, the battery bags, the front basket, the panniers, the braking, the carrying capacity, the stability, all of that adds up to something that feels genuinely purposeful, and that's what I like about it most. It feels like a system, not just a bike with a battery attached. So, final verdict, if you want something tiny and minimal just to nip to the cafe, this is probably not the bike for you, although it does that job extremely well too. But if you want something that feels built for range, load and real use, and you like the idea of a machine that can generally help you move when a normal bike or car becomes awkward, the Fedo Titan extender is seriously an interesting bit of kit. And for this kind of overnight movement test, it has made more sense than I expected. And if you want to check out the bike properly, the Fiido link is in the description and the pinned comment, and the discount codes are there as well. And again, if you want the wider gear I use, check the Charlie Survival Amazon kit list below. If you want something practical and free, download the blackout checklist from the description. And if you want a full step-by-step UK specific system to build a proper readiness plan, have a look at the UK crisis readiness system. And if you want calm, practical UK preparedness without the noise, subscribe now. And now I want to hear from you. If you had to leave tonight with no car, what is the first thing you'd pack? I've let YouTube pick a video it thinks you'll enjoy next, so click this one on screen and you won't be disappointed. Click it and I'll see you over there.